Picture this. It's Sunday, right after supper. You turn to the sink and, yep, there it is. That heavy cast iron pot you made the stew in, now sporting this thick, black, completely unyielding ring of burnt-on food crusted right around the bottom. We all know the drill, right? You've got the hot water running, you're squeezing in extra dish soap, and you're scrubbing until your fingernails are literally about to break. And at the end of it all, you're exhausted. Half the pots still aren't perfectly clean, and the ones that are, well, they've got those dull scratches from where you scrubbed just a little too hard with the steel wool. It's the worst. Welcome to today's Explainer. Today we're going to completely eliminate that frustration using a $1 miracle paste that easily replaces an entire shelf of expensive, harsh cleaners.
Okay, let's just quickly run through our agenda for today's masterclass. We'll start with a cleaning aisle trap, then reveal the $1 housekeeper secret. After that, we'll go over mixing your 4-ingredient paste, cover a really critical bleach safety warning, and finally look at 8 scratch-free household tasks you can tackle today.
Let's dive right into Section 1, the cleaning aisle trap and the illusion of specialized cleaners.
So, you walk into any grocery store, and the cleaning aisle is basically promising you the world, right? You've got cans of foaming pot scrubbers, heavy-duty jugs of degreasers, special sprays just for your microwave, and all those fancy polishes for the sink. $8 here, $12 there. A busy working kitchen can easily run through $40 or $50 of these branded cleaners every single year. But here is the truth. You're actually being tricked. You are buying multiple expensive bottles of really simple chemistry that's just been dressed up in fancy packaging, artificial fragrances, and bright dyes. This practical $1 homemade paste we're talking about today, it's going to solve practically everything those bottles claim to do.
Which brings us to Section 2, the $1 housekeeper secret. We're talking scratch-free chemistry.
Now, this is a method that diner workers, hotel staff, and farmhouse kitchens have used for literally generations to clean hundreds of pots a shift without breaking the bank. And what's absolutely brilliant about it is how these 4 plain, totally unfancy pantry staples perfectly replicate the exact lifting, breaking, scrubbing, and rinsing power of a $15 branded pot scrubber. Think of it like a puzzle where every piece has a specific job. Any standard dish detergent acts as your surfactant, that's what grabs onto the oils. Your standard table salt steps in as a gentle abrasive. Baking soda is your alkaline grease cutter. And finally, warm water is simply the carrier that thins the paste enough so you can actually spread it. It is just brilliant, fundamental chemistry.
So, the crucial point here is understanding this professional technique, specifically the scratch-free action. When grease gets heated and cooked into a hard layer, like that stubborn black ring on your stew pot, the heat actually changes the chemistry of the grease itself. So you need something alkaline, like baking soda, to quietly break it back apart. Meanwhile, the small salt crystals find that stuck on food and physically lift it off. But here is the real secret most people completely miss. The salt dissolves slowly as you scrub. By the time you're finished, the salt is completely gone. There's absolutely no powdery residue left behind for you to rinse away, and it lifts the grime without scratching your cookware like harsh scouring pads or steel wool would. It's a total game changer.
All right, let's move right along to Section 3, mixing your 4-ingredient paste. Here's the recipe breakdown.
First things first, gather your budget-friendly supplies, and notice that you do not need anything fancy here. A cheap dollar store dish soap works just as well as the expensive lemon-scented ones. You just need 1 cup of that plus 1 cup of warm water. Think baby bath temperature here. You want it warm enough to help the chemistry activate, but not so hot that it makes the paste super runny. Then grab 2 tablespoons of plain 99-cent iodized table salt and 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Make absolutely sure it's baking soda, the kind in the orange box you probably keep in the fridge, and not baking powder.
Let's walk through the exact procedure, because how you mix this stuff really matters. Take a clean glass or ceramic bowl. Pour in the detergent and that warm water. Now pay attention here, because the absolute key to this professional housekeeper technique is to stir gently. If you stir too vigorously, you're just going to whip up a useless head of suds, and we do not want that. You just want to blend them nicely. Next, gently stir in the salt. It won't fully dissolve right away, and that's perfect. Remember, those crystals are your abrasive. Finally, slowly stir in the baking soda. Now, it might foam slightly when it hits the liquid, but don't panic. That's just air being released. Just keep stirring until the foam settles down and you're left with a smooth, slightly thick, kind of pearly-looking paste.
And that's it. Pour that thick paste into a recycled glass jar with a tight lid. Honestly, an old, washed-out pickle jar with the label peeled off works absolutely perfectly for this. Just store it right under your sink. That single batch, which cost you maybe $1 to make, will last a busy, home-cooking household 2 to 3 entire months of daily cleaning.
Now, before we start cleaning, we need to cover Section 4, Critical Bleach Safety Warning. This is a non-negotiable rule we have to establish before applying this paste anywhere in your home.
I need you to read this carefully. Never mix this homemade cleaning recipe with bleach. Not the recipe in the jar, not on the surface you're cleaning, and not even in the rinse water afterward. Mixing bleach with any alkaline-based cleaner, which absolutely includes the baking soda in our paste, can release deadly chlorine gas right into your kitchen. And this isn't just theoretical. Every single year, there are terrifying news stories of people who just casually poured bleach into a sink that still had another cleaner in it, and the resulting gas overcame them in seconds. So no bleach, ever.
You really need to apply the exact same basic chemical respect to this $1 paste as you would any branded commercial product. If you keep a bottle of bleach under your sink, be incredibly careful never to use this paste on a surface that has just been bleached. Do not store your new jar of paste next to the bleach. Always rinse your drains thoroughly between uses of different products, and keep the jar up high and completely out of reach of children. Just treat this stuff with common sense respect.
Okay, we're safe and ready. Section 5, 8 Scratch-Free Household Tasks. It is time for our application masterclass. Tasks 1 and 2 cover your heavy cookware. For your absolute worst burnt stew pots, which is honestly the headline use for this paste, the professional trick is letting the paste do the heavy lifting for you. Spoon a really generous tablespoon right onto the burnt area. Add a splash of warm water just to wet it, and then walk away. Seriously, walk away for 15 minutes. Go grab a coffee, let that baking soda break the grease down. When you come back, just scrub it lightly with a sponge, and that black ring will literally lift right off. It works identically for cooked-on grease in your bacon pans or roasting tins, too. Just spread the paste, let it sit for a few minutes, give it a quick scrub, and rinse it clean.
Moving on to tasks 3 and 4, the surfaces. This paste effortlessly brings the shine back to a dull stainless steel sink, and it brightens up porcelain without leaving any of that gross gray residue behind. Just sprinkle, scrub, and rinse. For your stovetop, take a small amount on a cloth and gently scrub those cooked-on spatters right off your tray and backsplash. One quick note though, just be sure to avoid applying the paste inside the actual gas burner head itself, because that part requires a completely different cleaning method.
Let's look at tasks 5, 6, and 7, which really show off how well it handles delicate kitchen jobs. Just a tiny dab on a damp sponge wipes away dried food inside the microwave way faster than those specialized, expensive sprays. And amazingly, it even lifts those notoriously stubborn, bright orange spaghetti sauce stains right out of your plastic food containers. You know the ones. For dull silverware or utensils, just a gentle rub with the paste on a soft cloth, followed by a warm water rinse, polishes them perfectly back to life. And it does it without scratching the metal.
Finally, task number 8, the bathroom masterclass. This exact same kitchen paste moves right into the bathroom. You just sprinkle the paste around your bathroom sink, the tub, the tile. The salt and baking soda will efficiently strip away stubborn soap scum, brighten up your porcelain fixtures, and naturally deodorize the drains as they wash down. And the absolute best part? You achieve a sparkling clean bathroom without making your lungs cough from harsh, perfumed fumes or weird colored dyes.
Take a step back for a second and really look at this number, $40. That is the bare minimum you are saving every single spring by simply returning to older, wiser household management. By utilizing the basic chemistry sitting right there in your pantry, you can entirely skip the cleaning aisle. You're completely bypassing the pot scrubbers, the toxic oven cleaners, the multi-surface sprays, and the stainless steel polishes. All of it gets replaced by a single $1 jar.
So my challenge to you is to go mix this quick 2-minute paste today. But before you do, think about it for a second. What ruined pan in your kitchen are you going to save first? And more importantly, what brilliant household secrets are hiding in your own family tree? These little super efficient family recipes are exactly the kind of knowledge that completely disappears when no one shares them. Remember, the cheapest, most effective cleaner in your home is almost always the oldest one, just waiting for you to remember how to mix it. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy cleaning!